Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the AFC North lately, you know that things have been getting pretty interesting. The division has always been fiercely competitive, but this upcoming season promises to shake things up in ways we haven't seen in years. And at the heart of this shift are some intriguing developments involving key players and strategic moves that could reshape the division landscape entirely. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about topics right now. What's next for Patterson, and how his future might impact not only the division, but also the Pittsburgh Steelers' quest for another Super Bowl appearance. But before I get into the specifics, I want to remind all of you Steelers fans out there, if you love this team, if you breathe the black and gold, then make sure to smash that subscribe button. Your support helps us bring you even more in-depth analysis, breaking news, and exclusive insights into everything Steelers related. Now, let's get down to it. Recently, there's been a lot of buzz about Patterson, the versatile and explosive offensive weapon who's been making waves in the NFL for quite some time. Patterson, as you all know, has been primarily known for his incredible versatility, lining up as a receiver, running back, and even as a return specialist. His ability to change the dynamics of a game with his speed and agility makes him a player to watch closely. And with the upcoming season approaching, many analysts and insiders are speculating about his future and where he might land if he leaves his current team. There's a lot of speculation that Patterson's next move could be pivotal for a handful of teams, especially those looking to boost their offensive firepower. But what about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, the Steelers have historically been a team that values versatility and dynamic playmakers on offense, and Patterson certainly fits that mold. However, it's not just about whether he joins Pittsburgh, it's about how his potential signing could influence the division as a whole. Because let's face it, the AFC North is always about the trenches, the defenses, and the playmakers who can take over a game in a heartbeat. Now I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let us continue with the big reveal. So, looking at Patterson's potential destinations, some analysts suggest that he might be a perfect fit for teams that want to add a multidimensional threat. For instance, a team that's looking for a spark on offense, someone who can line up in multiple positions and create mismatches. And this is where the Steelers could come into play. They've always valued players who can do multiple things, especially in a league that's increasingly favoring versatility and speed. But the question is, will the Steelers be interested in adding Patterson if he hits the open market? And what would that mean for their offensive scheme moving forward? The Steelers, as you all know, are coming off a season that had its ups and downs. They finished with a solid record but fell short of the playoffs, and now the front office is clearly looking to strengthen key areas. One of those areas is undoubtedly their offensive weaponry. They've got a solid core of players, but adding someone like Patterson could give them that extra gear, that explosive element that could turn close games into easy wins. Imagine a Steelers offense with Patterson lining up as a receiver, a running back, or even returning kicks. His explosiveness could be exactly what they need to take that next step. But here's the thing, while the Steelers could be interested, there are other teams also in the mix. Patterson's versatility makes him a hot commodity. Teams like the Falcons, who already have a solid offense but could use an extra spark, or even playoff contenders looking to upgrade their depth and explosive potential. The AFC North itself is loaded with talent. Teams like the Bengals and Ravens are always aggressive in the offseason, looking to improve their rosters strategically. So, it's not just about where Patterson might go. It's also about how his signing could alter the balance of power in the division. And speaking of the division, let's not forget the Ravens. They've been a team that relies heavily on their run game and dynamic playmakers, and Patterson's skill set fits right into that mold. If he ends up with Baltimore, it could be a nightmare for defenses. His ability to line up as a receiver or a runner creates mismatches that opposing defenses would have a tough time handling. That could push the Ravens even further ahead, or, at the very least, keep them neck and neck with Cincinnati. The Bengals, on the other hand, have built a strong core of young talent, and adding a veteran like Patterson could give them that extra edge in tight games. Now, what about the Steelers? Well, Pittsburgh's offense has been a bit inconsistent in recent years, especially when it comes to generating big plays. They've got some talented players, like their young quarterback and some promising receivers, but they lack that true game breaker that can turn a game around in a heartbeat. That's why the potential signing of Patterson should excite Steelers fans. Imagine him lining up in multiple spots, creating chaos for defenses, and giving Kenny Pickett or whoever is under center that extra weapon to work with. It's exactly the kind of move that could push Pittsburgh back into the playoffs and maybe even give them the edge over their rivals. Of course, we have to be realistic. Free agency is unpredictable, and teams have their plans well laid out. The Steelers aren't necessarily known for splurging on big-name free agents, but they do know how to make smart additions, players who fit their culture, who bring versatility, and who can contribute immediately. Patterson's style of play fits that profile perfectly. His ability to impact the game in multiple ways is exactly what Pittsburgh needs to get back to competing at the highest level. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The AFC North is a division that's been dominated by physicality and grit. The Ravens, Bengals, and even the Browns, who are still trying to find consistency, are all fighting for supremacy. The Steelers, under Mike Tomlin, have always been about resilience, discipline, and strategic savvy. Adding a player like Patterson could be that final piece that makes their offense much more unpredictable and dangerous. It also sends a message to their division rivals. Pittsburgh is not going to sit back and wait for things to happen. They're actively trying to evolve and stay competitive. And if we look at the broader NFL landscape, the importance of versatile playmakers has only grown. Coaches love players who can do multiple things, because that flexibility allows game plans to be more dynamic. Patterson's skills are highly valued in today's game, and I wouldn't be surprised if more teams start to see his potential impact. But for Steelers fans, the hope is that their team recognizes this opportunity and makes a move that could reshape their offense for years to come. Looking ahead, there are some key factors that will influence where Patterson ends up. Salary cap considerations, team needs, and the overall strategic vision of each franchise will play a role. The Steelers, with their recent focus on building through a mix of veteran savvy and young talent, could see Patterson as a perfect fit to add depth and explosiveness. His experience and versatility could help the Steelers regain their offensive identity, especially if they want to be serious contenders again. Now, as we analyze all of this, it's also important to remember that NFL offseason moves are always fluid. Players get signed, traded, or sometimes even decide to stay put based on the right offer or team fit. So we'll be watching closely in the coming weeks to see where Patterson lands and how that impacts not only his team but the entire division. For Steelers fans, it's an exciting time because every move counts when you're trying to get back to the top of the AFC and make a real Super Bowl run. And as I wrap this up, I want to emphasize again how crucial these offseason developments are. The Steelers have been building a solid foundation, and adding a player like Patterson could be the catalyst for a major turnaround. Whether he ends up in Pittsburgh or elsewhere, his presence will have ripple effects across the AFC North. So, keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned to the latest updates, and remember that every piece of the puzzle is vital in this fiercely competitive division. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Patterson would be a perfect fit for your team? Or do you believe the Steelers should focus on different areas? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching, and as always, Go Steelers!